The electric two-wheeler space has been largely dominated by e-scooters, but in more recent times we have seen a few electric bikes come into the picture. We recently rode the long-awaited Torque electric motorcycle, and you can check out that review in the description. Today though, we're focusing on the latest entrant to the scene, the Oben Electric Rorr. Now this is a new electric bike from a Bangalore-based startup. It's been launched at 1.25 lakh rupees ex-showroom. That's after FAME 2 subsidies but before state subsidies. So depending on where you live, it could cost you as little as 1 lakh rupees ex-showroom. Let's dive in for a closer look. We see a lot of these EVs being launched, but sometimes it's very long before we actually see them on our roads. If you're wondering about the Rorr, the company hopes to begin test rides in May and deliveries in July. There is a little work to be done before that though, because there are only 3 bikes present here today and they seem to be prototypes that are a little rough around the edges at the moment. The company says it can manufacture as many as 3 lakh units per annum at its manufacturing facility here in Bangalore. The name, the overall look and the claimed performance figures tell you that this is a bike that's trying to be a little sporty. The permanent magnet motor has a peak output of 10 kilowatt and a continuous output of 4 kilowatt. Like most e-bikes we've seen so far, there is no gear shifter and drive goes to the rear via a single-stage belt drive system. How all this feels in the real world is something we'll get a chance to find out when we ride this pretty soon. Oben claims a 0 to 40 kph time of 3 seconds, and this is becoming something of a performance baseline for high-performance electric two-wheelers here in India. It's the sort of performance that Ola claims for its S1 Pro, and also pretty close to what the Ather 450X gives you in warp mode in the real world as per our V-Box. Down here is the battery pack, a 4.4 kWh unit. It's non-removable, it is an LFP battery. This is a lithium iron phosphate battery, which is a different type of lithium ion battery that has been gaining popularity recently. Tesla announced last year that it would be switching to LFP batteries for all its standard range cars. While this chemistry does have a slightly lower energy density compared to traditional lithium-ion batteries, there are a number of handy advantages too. For one, this type of battery requires no nickel or cobalt to produce, so it's environmentally kinder to manufacture. They also have a longer life and better thermal and chemical stability. One big advantage of this is charging times, and Oben claims an impressive 2 hours from empty to full, but that is with a 15 amp socket. The company says it will set up a 15 amp socket at your house at no extra cost when you buy this bike. One neat touch about the Rorr is that it gets an onboard charger, meaning all the charging hardware, things like the transformer, etc. are housed on the bike itself. So all you have to carry around is a cable. One end plugs into the 15 amp socket and the other end plugs into the bike's connector. And finally, that all-important question of range. Well, Oben says that in the real world you can expect 150 kilometers in eco mode, where your top speed is capped at 50 kph. In city mode, where top speed is 70 kph, you can get 120 kilometers, and in havoc mode, where you can get up to the 100 kph top speed, real world range is 100 kilometers. If these numbers turn out to be accurate, it should make the Rorr more than usable in the real world. The rest of the bike is pretty standard fanfare, with a trellis frame suspended on a conventional telescopic fork and monoshock. You also get fully digital instrumentation with Bluetooth connectivity and all the usual smart and connected features that we see on EVs these days, including GPS tracking, geofencing, an anti-theft system, and call and SMS alerts. So, the newly launched Oben Rorr enters a scene that's beginning to become quite well populated, with a few different e-bikes and e-scooters now playing in this price and performance range. The company says we should have a chance to ride the Rorr pretty soon, so we hope to give you an idea of how it compares to some of the competition, and whether it's the e-bike that you should be looking at. To make sure you don't miss that video, hit the subscribe button, and click on the bell icon to make sure you're the first one to watch it when it drops.